Most everyone loves dolphins. Unfortunately, an industry has developed to exploit our interest and capitalize on this, making huge profits at the expense of the animal's welfare. The bottlenose dolphin is the most commonly held species of cetacean in captivity, followed by the killer whale or orca. Most dolphins are still captured from the wild. Recently, the film The Cove has called attention to this cruel practice, and public attitude may eventually change. Although the practice is waning in some nations, in others the financial temptation is just beginning to take hold. The fight against captivity is worldwide, as dolphin traders travel the world in pursuit of money. Some species have never produced surviving offspring, and the calves of others suffer high mortality rates. Therefore, many of the marine mammals on public display in the world still come from the wild. In the wild, whales and dolphins live in large family groups. Some species maintain these familial bonds for life. They travel great distances, ranging for hundreds of miles without rest. They dive to depths up to 500 meters and may remain underwater for as long as 30 minutes. They spend only 10 to 20% of their time at the surface. In the sea, whales and dolphins never come to shore, as do seals and sea lions. They are always swimming, always aware, always moving, even when they sleep. Even the best facility can't mimic the complexity of the ocean ecosystem. Captive dolphins are routinely subjected to tiny, shallow pools that expose their delicate skin to the burning rays of the sun. In the United States, dolphin pens are only required to be 30 by 30 feet in length and 6 feet deep. For an animal that ranges hundreds of miles, life in captivity means life in a swimming pool. Tanks allow little freedom of movement. The environment is limited, unnatural, and provides no mental stimulation. Living in perpetual motion, they are forced into endless circles. Due to the limited nature of the tank environment, whales and dolphins spend more than half of their time at the tank's surface, resulting in skin lesions and ulcers. In many tanks, the water is full of chemicals as well as bacteria, causing many health problems in dolphins, including blindness. The average lifespan of a dolphin in the wild is 45 years, yet half of all captured dolphins die within their first 2 years of captivity. The survivors last an average of only 5 years in captivity. Every 7 years, half of all the dolphins in captivity die from capture shock, pneumonia, intestinal disease, ulcers, chlorine poisoning, and other stress-related illnesses. To the captive dolphin industry, these facts are accepted as routine operating expenses. The only excitement the captive animal has is training and performance, an occupation of minimal value to the animal. As much as we would like to believe that dolphins enjoy our company as much as we do theirs, interaction programs are often extremely upsetting for the dolphins, who must endure the advances of curious and overzealous humans. Stress-related illness and death are far too common among performing dolphins. Trainers use hunger as their primary training tool. Food is withheld to ensure that the dolphins are hungry and therefore motivated to do what their trainers ask. Ultimately, the dolphin is reduced to singing for its supper, dead fish. The form of punishment used on whales and dolphins is isolation from the other animals in a small holding tank. The animal may be kept separate for a number of days before being returned to the group and work. Confined animals are known to abuse themselves, banging their heads against the walls. Visitors to marine parks will often see dolphins swimming back and forth in their tanks or obsessively peeking out of the water looking for food. These behaviors are signs of psychological distress. For a marine mammal, the tank is a prison. The capture of these animals often involves high-speed chases in which the animal is brought to the point of exhaustion, wrenched from its pod, and wrestled into submission. Capture violently disrupts social groups and splits up families. 53% of dolphins who survive violent capture die within 90 days. The U.S. government allows the capture of wild marine mammals for public display, justifying this exemption from the Marine Mammal Protection Act's prohibition of exploitation and harassment by contending that public display serves educational and conservation purposes. However, studying the behavior of these animals in captivity is akin to studying people in prison. It can never yield information about their actual behavior in the wild. Furthermore, public display does not effectively educate the public, and profit is more likely the motive for conducting traumatic and stressful captures. In 2004, SeaWorld projected weekly attendance to top 170,000 guests. At an average admission price of $70, the gross is a staggering $618.8 million per year. The World Society for the Protection of Animals and the Humane Society of the United States issued a report, The Case Against Marine Mammals in Captivity, an in-depth look at the arguments used by the display industry to justify captivity and the scientific research which discredits these claims. They note that the display industry claims that the education and conservation benefits outweigh the welfare implications, that the public learns about marine mammals by viewing them in captivity and as a result are more likely to become advocates for the animals. It is well established that captive marine mammals are not ideal research candidates since they live in artificial environments and often don't exhibit natural behaviors. Therefore, the research done at marine parks is limited to improving the maintenance and breeding of captive animals, ultimately providing more specimens for display. But the ethical concerns of keeping marine mammals in captivity must outweigh our own entertainment. In 1972, the Marine Mammal Protection Act was passed by the U.S. Congress to protect the many mammals living in the world's oceans. This legislation is the basis for policies preventing the harassment, capture, injury, or killing of all species of whales, dolphins, seals, and sea lions, as well as walruses, manatees, dugongs, sea otters, and polar bears. The primary government agency responsible for enforcing the MMPA is the National Marine Fisheries Service. Since 1962, over 200 orcas have been in captivity, whether captured or born into this life. Currently, there are 41 known orcas in captivity. There are perhaps 2,500 dolphins in captivity.
You just walk into this place, and the music is playing, the dolphin is jumping and smiling. It's hard to see the problem. But the dolphin smile is nature's greatest deception. It creates the illusion they're always happy.
It's not about intelligence. It's about consciousness. They are self-aware like humans are self-aware. That means that we look in the mirror and we know exactly what we're looking at.